Has this ever happened to you? You want to play something atmospheric and creepy, but you want to do it without all the stress that usually goes along with the survival horror genre. Well, you might not know it, but there's actually quite a few games that fit this criteria, thanks to a few creative people using the RPGMaker application. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way something designed in an RPG engine could possibly be scary. Well, you're wrong. And today I'm going to show you that with a little title called Ebe. Ebe is a horror adventure game developed in the RPGMaker engine by a Japanese developer who goes by the name Kori. In it, you assume the role of the 8-year-old's title character, Ebe. During a visit to the art museum with her family, the power cuts out, and Ebe finds herself alone in a twisted alternate reality. Keeping her cool, the surprisingly mature child descends further into the museum in an effort to find out what's going on and get back to her family. Despite being designed on an RPG engine, this is an adventure game, and as such there are no random battles to be had. That doesn't mean you're 100% safe, of course. Ebe's well-being becomes intertwined with a mysterious rose, and getting attacked by any of the museum's denizens or activating any traps that hurt her will cause the flower to wither and die. Ebe is only a child, so she's completely defenseless. Avoidance and smarts are the key to her survival. To make things even tougher, she's only got an 8-year-old's reading level. The various books and notes around the museum may contain words that she doesn't know yet. Ebe isn't alone forever though, and during her exploration, she finds another stranded museum patron, the somewhat cowardly but caring art student Gary. Traveling together with Gary has the benefit of his larger vocabulary. He'll be able to help Ebe understand more of what's going on by explaining what the words she couldn't read before meant. He can also move obstacles out of the way that are too heavy for Ebe herself. Later on, a third party member also shows up, in the form of a mysterious little girl named Mary. There will be times when the party becomes separated, and you'll have to toggle between party members to solve puzzles in order to reunite the team. It's all very well crafted, and the dialogue really gets you invested in the story as the characters grow to care for one another. The relationship between Ebe and Gary is especially sweet. Now, Ib is a decidedly Japanese horror experience. It's more subtle and it doesn't have the same big jump scares that you might be used to from big budget titles. But does that make it any less effective? Not at all. The way it builds up tension and then suddenly throws things at you is really interesting, especially when you take into consideration the way that the game is made. It's a really interesting experience that's going to leave you wanting more. Throughout the museum, you'll find yourself stalked by various pieces of malevolent art come to life. From headless mannequin women to disturbing knit dolls. You'll find out that all the artwork in this museum is the work of a particular artist named Guertana. In the process of trying to escape, you'll also be unraveling the mystery of why this man's art has chosen to trap your party in this nightmarish exhibit. The art actually gets involved for some really unique and interesting puzzle solving. I don't want to spoil everything, but I'll show you one example. A simple stick figure drawing wants to play hide and seek with Ib. There are various pieces of art around the room being covered by curtains, and pressing the button in front of each one will reveal what's underneath. In trying to find the stick figure, the puzzle is actually random, and making the wrong choice can make different weird things happen and even cause Ib to take damage. Ib has gained an impressive amount of fame for such an obscure indie horror title. It has spawned fan animations, Japanese doujinshi comics, and even official merchandise such as these little figurines that I have. I definitely understand why it's so popular. I'm a big fan of the subtle horror creep-out style of the game, and the aesthetic is just lovely. I also want to note that the soundtrack is really, really beautiful. If you know me at all, you know that I'm a big proponent of gorgeous game soundtracks, and Ib's is right up there on my list. Everything about Ib comes together really well to create a fantastic package. It's not a long game, but the plot and characters will stick with you long after you've stopped playing. And there are also multiple endings to be found, so you'll definitely want to try again and again to see more of the story. There's even a New Game Plus mode, which unlocks extra dungeons and new endings on subsequent playthroughs. Since it's an RPGMaker title, the game is completely free, which is amazing for such an immersive experience. I'll be including a link in this video's description to the best place to download the English version of the game. I highly recommend checking it out if you think this looks like your cup of tea. That's all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like my show, please feel free to like and subscribe. In honor of October, aka my favorite month, I'm going to be taking an obligatory look at one of my favorite titles next time, Silent Hill 2. I know it's overdone, but hopefully I can bring something new to the table. So until next time, stay spoopy, my friends.